Surprise, surprise. The coward Mike Vrabel finally speaks. We're going to take a listen to this. We're going to break it down and ask the question once again, why is the NFL not investigating? There are some things missing from Mikey's statement, but let's take a listen. I'm going to try and boost the volume as much as I can. I already put it through my editor to boost it. I'll probably do it again after the fact because it was really, really low. So hopefully you can hear this.
Let me first begin by saying thank you. Thank you for your patience that you've shown in a personal and private matter for me and obviously everybody involved. I know that that's not easy for you, and I respect that, and I appreciate your efforts in doing so. I understand I could have addressed you guys sooner, but it was important to me to have a conversation with the players, which I did yesterday, very candidly, as we began our off-season program, which everyone is excited to be a part of. Stacy had mentioned the players' availability, and it was never my intention to have them speak to you or address you before I did. And so I asked him to come today and to talk with you. I also don't want to take away from our, the draft, the weekend of the draft. This is an important time for us, our organization, and the excitement and the joy that those players are going to have that we bring onto our football team. They're starting an amazing journey, one that should be celebrated as we welcome them onto our team. With that being said, I've had some difficult conversations with people that I care about, with my family, the organization, the coaches, the players. Those have been positive and productive. We believe in order to be successful on and off the field, you have to make good decisions. That includes me, that starts with me. We never want our actions to negatively affect the team. We never want to be the cause of a distraction. Those are comments and questions that I've answered for the team and with the team. We'll keep those private and to ourselves. Care deeply about this football team, and I'm excited to coach them. I also know that I'm going to attack each day with humility and focus. And what I can promise you is that my family, this organization, the team, the staff, the coaches, everybody, our fans, most importantly, will get the best version of me going forward. And that's what I know, and I'm excited to do that. But I wanted to just address this and thank you for your patience in dealing with the private and personal matter. Thank you.
Wow. So this is a man who calls himself a leader of men, and yet he just spent 2.5 minutes saying nothing, taking no responsibility, no apologies. Man, let me know the comment in the comments below if you. I can't think of the name of the Patriots player when the whole Bulls thing happened, and the guy got cut. Right, he was speaking. Being, I guess, I don't know if he's a born again Christian or just came recently to Christianity or what have you. It's speaking out on it, made comments about Pride nights in the NBA. Why do we have them? Which you can agree or disagree. I don't think that's something you cut a player for. But the point is, the Patriots player came out, I guess, also a Christian, came out in support of the Bulls player, and Mike Vrabel, virtue signaling Karen that he is, publicly insulted, bashed, and dressed down his own player and said he needed to get educated, as they like to do, because they're always, morally and intellectually superior. Where's the apology? And I don't care if he went to his player and apologized, which I'm pretty sure he didn't based on all of this, but he bashed him and told him to get educated publicly. That was a public statement. Therefore, he owes that man a public apology because of the absolute hypocrisy we've seen from Mike Vrabel. Again, we all know by now he was absolutely banging Dirty Dianna Russini, concubine of the NFL, been passed around multiple times by multiple people in the NFL. And I mean, you heard when he said he had difficult conversations with his family and they were positive and productive. I really doubt his family found those conversations positive or productive. But that right there, that's the admission. Apparently, that is as much as we are going to get from Mike Vrabel because he doesn't have the courage. Again, when it came out, right, and the pictures came out and the comments he had about how ridiculous this was and it was out of context and oh my God, I would never do that and we're just friends. Mike, I don't know, maybe an apology to the public for your behavior, for your lies, an apology to the NFL fans for what this does to the league. Because again, despite the fact that the NFL said they're not even going to investigate, we clearly have a situation of collusion and tampering. There are many unanswered questions. I don't know if Dianna Russini cooked this up as something she wanted to do for her man because she just couldn't get enough and wanted him to keep just, you know, uh, this is not a conversation topic I thought I would ever be having in covering the Eagles and the NFL. Maybe it was Mike Vrabel. Maybe he just said, hey, I've got this little lady wrapped around my finger. She's the NFL insider working at The Athletic. Man, I can get my boy A.J. Brown back to the Patriots for almost nothing if I get her to pound that issue all season long. Or, hey, who knows? It might have been A.J. Brown who said, hey, you know what, coach? I want out of Philadelphia. I'm a very selfish player. And despite my 1,400-yard seasons and Super Bowls and Super Bowl champion and all pro and Pro Bowl and all that, I want more stats, more. Get me out of here. And Mike was like, all right, I've got the perfect way to do that. I've got this girl that I'm just, and she'll do whatever I want because she just simply cannot get enough. But it happened one of those ways. One of those three came up, went to another, and they built this story so that they could get A.J. Brown to New England for next to nothing. That is what all this is about. Not addressed here at all. But they're absolutely telling it for the NFL to say there's not even enough to begin an investigation is an absolute lie. This is a cover-up. They are embarrassed. We see ESPN, which we know now is completely in bed with the NFL because of business issues. Nothing on this story whatsoever. They will not touch it. They finally did an article where instead of it going out on, the ESPN X account, which has millions of followers, it went out on the writer's account who has like 8,000, right? Nobody saw it. They didn't want anybody to see it, but they wanted the whole CYA of, hey, if, down the line, come back and say, ESPN, my man, why aren't you covering this? Oh, well, what do you mean? We did look at this article. We did cover it. We need more. This is not enough. This is not enough. We cannot let the Patriots of Mike Vrabel off the hook like this. Dianna Russini paid a price. Now, anyone talking about double standards isn't really accurate because, again, different roles, journalist and all that. But now when you look at the tampering aspect of it, now those people have a bit more legitimacy to say, hey, what do you mean? Why is just Dianna Russini being punished? Why not Mike Vrabel? Why not the New England Patriots? And I would agree, right, with there. I didn't agree with the beginning when it initially happened that, oh, why is everyone going after Dianna and not Mike? It was because we were setting aside the affair for the integrity of her doing that. But then when you get deeper and you talk about tampering, yeah. And I said right away Mike needed to be punished and investigated. But we need to hear more of that. And now that the NFL, so we're not even investigating, really bad look for the NFL. Really bad look. Eagles need to get more. Howie, if you trade AJ, anybody but the division and the Patriots. All right, that's what I'm saying. Let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. You know the draw. Talk to you all later.